Welcome back everyone to a brand new SkillCapped video, and in this one we'll be giving you the lowdown on the 10 most OP off-meta champs and builds for 11.16. Each champer build we feature holds a very low play rate, but is extremely strong at the moment, so you can look to hop on the new trends before everyone else. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description for a special discount. Alright, let's get started. A new strategy Korean top laners are starting to abuse on their Tryndamere is a Goredrinker rush. Gale Force has been the staple for quite some time now, but the Goredrinker setup has become increasingly popular over the past few patches. The main benefits to building Goredrinker are the added survivability and ability haste. The complete setup is extremely focused on stacking as much haste as possible. Second item is Essence Reaver, and then round it all out with Navori Quick Blades third. In total, you reach 70 haste, which equates to 41% cooldown reduction on your 3-item spike. The E-spam in combination with Spellblade proc from Essence Reaver synergize very well together. The build gives you strong consistent damage output combined with the added durability from Goredrinker. Since you're lacking attack speed from your first 2 items, make sure to run Lethal Tempo as the keystone. Follow with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand. The most optimal secondaries are Nimbus Cloak and Transcendence. Running Transcendence adds on another 10 haste at level 8, which amplifies the haste stack even further. It's no secret how broken Camille is right now with the Ignite Teleport combination, but one top laner who's not getting enough attention with it is Jax. Due to all of Jax's damage being point and click, if you can get the ball rolling early on, there's very little the enemy can do to stop you. Snowballing an advantage is easier with Jax than most other top laners, so running Ignite allows you to execute on that more consistently. The gap closed from Jax's Q provides him with consistent mobility, so he can get away with not having flash more than other top laners. Jax players who run TP Ignite right now are winning around 55% of the time compared to flash teleport players at 50%. Core build for Jax is Divine Sunderer Rush into Blade of the Ruined King 2nd and Sterix Gage 3rd. For the Rune page, run Conqueror with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand. Secondaries are Biscuits and Time Warp Tonic. A jungle pick who fell out of meta for a few patches but is starting to be picked back up by many pro players once again is Rumble. A couple quality of life buffs in 11.15 have given Rumble new life. An important tip to note is you want to start E level 1 now instead of W. The W cooldown nerf from 11.13 made it impossible to stack heat at level 1, so it's much weaker as an opening spell. E provides the most consistent damage when taking down your first camp, which is why you want to open with it instead of Q. Rumble's skirmish potential, especially at level 6, is what makes him such an enticing pickup. Being able to throw down ult from a mile away makes his gank so potent and gives the enemy very little time to react. The core build for Rumble is Night Harvester into Zhonya's 2nd and Void Staff 3rd. Dark Harvest will be your keystone with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Ultimate Hunter. Secondary runes are Nimbus Cloak and Transcendence. It's no surprise Nunu Jungle is back in a great spot after his buffs, but mid lane Nunu is really underrated now too. EAP ratio saw a massive buff this patch, going from 54 up to 90%. The base move speed buff is amazing as well, since it allows Nunu to roam around the map even faster. The whole idea behind Nunu Mid is to insta-clear waves with W and then perma-roam. W roams from mid lane to bot are so fast that if the enemy mid doesn't ping you out immediately, you'll have a free double kill every single time. For the build, you'll rush at Everfrost, which synergizes super well with Nunu's kit. As you smash your snowball into the enemy, follow with the root from Everfrost and start channeling ult. As long as the enemy doesn't have flash available, you'll be guaranteed a fully channeled ultimate. Be sure to grab an early Dark Seal, as Nunu Mid is all about snowballing an early lead. Medjai's is a great second purchase, and then go into Zhonya's or Void Staff 3rd. Grab Dark Harvest as the keystone with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Relentless Hunter. Since you'll be roaming non-stop, the most optimal secondaries are Celerity and Water Walking. Another traditional jungler who you can slot into mid lane thanks to some great buffs in 11.16 is Jarvan. The pure one-shot power at level 6 is really insane, and it makes Jarvan a super strong pick into squishy melee mids. The poke from Q allows you to harass the enemy whenever they go for last hits. Once you've done that a few times and got them in lethal, it's really easy to dive right in and finish off the kill. If you manage to snowball an early lead, Jarvan is so oppressive as his pick range makes it impossible for the enemy to lane. EQ combo followed by a flash ult can catch the enemy from 2 screens away, so extending an early advantage will be no issue at all. For the build, you're going full one-shot lethality with an Eclipse Rush into the Collector second and Edge of Night third. Run Electrocute as the keystone with Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collector, and Ultimate Hunter. Secondaries are from the Precision Tree with Triumph and Coup de Grace. Ziggs has taken over the spotlight as the best mage bot lane pick, but another that pros are really liking right now is Syndra. The mana buffs from a few patches back allow Syndra to spam out Q more often, which makes early laning with an aggressive support way stronger. A really nasty off-meta duo to try this patch is Syndra with Trundle. Trundle throwing down E almost guarantees that Syndra's stun will land, and it leads to so many easy winning trades. If your support locks any heavy CC support like Leona or Nautilus, then picking Syndra will give you such a high pressure lane. Once you hit level 6, it's very simple to one-shot the enemy ADC if one CC ability lands. A Leona CC lock into Syndra full combo is a kill every single time, and there's very little your opponent can do to counter it. The full build is Luden's Tempest Rush into Archangel's second and Zanya's third. Start the game off with a Doran's Ring, but make sure to grab a tier on your first base to get it stacking. Comet will be your keystone with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Scorch. Biscuits and Cosmic Insight are the best secondaries. The Jhin buffs this patch have sparked a new lethality build. Jhin W saw a base damage buff while his ultimate AD ratio was increased. The AD ratio increase makes a heavy lethality build more valuable. Serpent's Fang is your rush item, followed by the Collector second and Lord Dominic's third. If you're up against a shield support like Lulu or Sona who are played a lot in 11.16, this new build is extremely powerful. All the lethality and armor pen will allow you to melt through Squishy's health bars. Ultimate damage will be so much higher as well. If the whole enemy comp is squishy, then you can use Jhin R as an opening when controlling objectives to get some really nice poke off before a teamfight starts. Lethality build path is much cheaper than crit, so you're able to hit a faster mid-game spike and come online sooner. To add to that burst power from ult even further, take Dark Harvest as the keystone. Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collector, and Ravenous Hunter round out primary runes. Grab Precision secondary, running Presence of Mind, and Bloodline. Sivir is coming off some nice buffs to her W, which puts an added force into her mid-game spike. WAD ratio was increased from 70 to 90%, which makes a crit-focused build very underrated now. Kraken Slayer into Essence Reaver and Infinity Edge is the setup you should be looking to use. On this 3-item spike, that extra damage on W will pack a massive punch in grouped up teamfights. With a scaling support like Sona coming back into meta, your ability to take over games once you complete a few items is so insane. Not only Sona, but Lulu, Karma, and Yuumi are being spammed a ton in the meta, and when paired with Sivir, give your team such a crazy mid to late game win condition. Lethality Sivir runs Dark Harvest, but for crit, you'll want to opt for Lethal Tempo. You're way more focused around auto-attacking with the crit setup, so Dark Harvest doesn't work as well. Presence of Mind, Bloodline, and Coup de Grace round out the primaries. Grab Sorcery secondary, running Nimbus Cloak and Celerity. We featured the new Trundle support meta in our recent Korean builds video, but there's another really crafty, unique setup many pros are spamming that we have to share with you guys. Imperial Mandate Rush is the build, and at first glance, it may seem super troll, but hear us out. It all comes down to the synergy Trundle E has with the Imperial Mandate passive. The abilities that slow or immobilize a target deal bonus damage and mark the enemy. Your teammates can detonate that mark for even more extra damage and granting both of you 20% move speed. Since Trundle E is such an easy to land ability with a massive slow, you can understand why Mandate is such a reliable purchase. If you're snowballing early on, this is where we would recommend opting for Mandate over Locket. The extra damage potential will allow your ADC to follow up super well and finish off kills much easier. The core build is Imperial Mandate into Anathema's Chain second and Thornmail third. Rune Page most popular among pros is Hail of Blades with Cheap Shot, Zombie Ward, and Relentless Hunter. For secondaries, pick up Biscuits and Time Warp Tonic. Guardian is a great alternative as well if you'd like more durability. A support who was very dominant back in Season 10 that many pro players have started to pick back up is Pantheon. An Umbral Glaive Rush is very sleeper at the moment as it's a very cheap lethality item that offers great vision control. Your goal when locking Pantheon is to find multiple early kills and begin to extend that advantage by roaming around the map. Umbral passive, which reveals wards and allows you to one-shot them, is so great for denying the enemy team any safe routes around the map. With ADCs like Jhin and Ashe back in meta, picking Pantheon for an aggressive kill lane is a great idea. Jhin can follow up super well on your engage with W, while Ashe ultimate at level 6 provides a great chain CC lock. Complete build is Umbral Glaive into Eclipse and either Chempunk or Serpents, depending on if you need healing reduction or shield shredding. Run Presty attacks the Keystone with Triumph, Tenacity, and Coup de Grace. Secondaries are Cheap Shot and Relentless Hunter. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO hell 629 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $4.99 a month if you are serious about improving. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.